The sky above the colony turned red as a fireball flew across it. People ran to the edge of the fields, watching as the small ship crashed into the dirt outside the border fence. Smoke and dust filled the air. Alarms rang through the colony. It was not common for strange ships to fall from the sky. Clara Grayson stood with her arms crossed. She looked out from the tower window. Her sister Beth joined her. "Just another drifter," Clara said. "Probably dirty and useless like the last one." Beth nodded. "Let the guards deal with him." The guards moved quickly. They found the man crawling out of the broken ship. His suit was torn and his face was covered in dust and oil. He looked weak, but his eyes were clear. He said nothing as they pulled him up and brought him into the colony. They took him to a small room near the edge of the colony wall. The doctor checked him and found no signs of sickness. His body was strong. His hands showed signs of years of hard work, but he did not say much. When they asked his name, he said, "Leo." The news of the stranger spread fast. People came to look. Some were curious. Others were not happy. "He smells like burnt metal," someone said. "He came from the dark side of the stars," another whispered. Clara and Beth visited the room where he was staying. He was sitting on the floor, fixing a small tool with wires from his broken ship. Clara looked at him and laughed. "What are you doing, dirty man? Trying to build another broken ship?" Leo looked up. He said nothing. His hands moved fast and careful. Beth rolled her eyes. "Father should send you away. You don't belong here." But Leo stayed. The colony leader, Harold Grayson, said the man could help with the repairs. Many systems were breaking down, and help was needed. Leo said he knew machines. Harold gave him a chance. Over the next few days, things began to change. Power lines stopped sparking. The water filters started working better. The farm lights stayed on all night. People noticed but did not speak much about it. Leo walked quietly through the colony. He worked hard, never asked for thanks. But the children smiled at him. The workers nodded. Some started calling him the fixer. Clara watched from a distance. She did not trust him. She did not like the way her father looked at Leo with respect. "He is still dirty," she said to Beth. Beth agreed. "He is quiet and strange. But the machines listened to him. That is something." Then something happened. A small boy named Nate ran into a broken repair bot near the power station. The bot sparked and moved in a wild way. Before anyone could stop it, Leo jumped in front of the boy. He pulled him away and pushed the bot down with one strong move. People saw it. They cheered. The mother of the boy cried and thanked Leo. Clara stood near the back, her lips pressed tight. She did not like the way people looked at Leo now. That night, Harold Grayson sat with his daughters. He looked tired but serious. "This man may not look like us," he said, "but he saved a child today. He has done more for this colony in a few days than others have in months." Clara said nothing. Beth looked down. Outside, Leo sat near a tool bench. He looked at the stars and cleaned his hands with an old cloth. He could hear people laughing inside their homes. For the first time in years, he felt something close to peace. But he knew something was coming. Something dark in this place, with all its lights and proud people, was not ready for it. He had seen the signs. The Varn were near, and they would not care how clean or dirty anyone was. The days passed, and Leo kept working. He repaired machines that others gave up on. He cleaned the solar towers and made the signal boosters work again. Fixed the broken loader that had not moved for years. People began to speak well of him, but only in quiet corners. Clara still did not trust him. She watched him from the tall windows of the control tower. She saw how the workers looked at him now. They smiled. Some even laughed when he passed. That made her angry. "He is not one of us," she told Beth. "Just because he fixes things does not mean he belongs here." Beth leaned on the railing. "Maybe not. But Father gave him a place. And he is helping. Cannot deny that." One morning, the colony woke to loud buzzing in the sky. The shields around the fence flickered and turned blue. That had never happened before. People gathered near the fence, confused and afraid. Leo stood near the power station, looking at a scanner he built from old parts. His face looked calm, but his eyes showed worry. Harold Grayson came to the control room. "Report," he said. Clara pointed to the screen. "We are picking up strange signals, power drops, static fields." Leo entered the room without knocking. He placed his scanner on the table. "The Varn are coming," he said. Clara stood up. "You do not walk in here and speak like that. You are just a fixer." Leo looked at her. "I saw this before. On another colony. The same signs. They came in silence, then burned everything." Beth walked to the scanner. "Are you sure?" "Yes," Leo said. "They are not far. 2 days. Maybe less." Harold frowned. "Can we fight them?" "No, not with what you have now." Clara looked at her father. "We should not trust him. This could be a trick." Harold nodded slowly. "I want a full scan of the area. Beth, handle it." The scan took hours. When it was done, the results showed dark shapes moving in space near the planet. They were big and fast. Harold looked at Leo. "What would you do?" Leo spoke in a quiet voice. "I would start building weapons, fix the shield lines, set up traps near the main gate. I would tell your people the truth." Harold gave him a slow nod. "Do it. You have my order." Clara turned away. She walked outside and looked at the wide fields. She did not like how fast things were changing. While others slept, Leo worked. He used the parts from his crashed ship and broken machines from the colony. He built new tools and changed the old ones. He trained workers how to use them, showed them how to build cover from attack. The people followed his lead. They listened to him. They trusted him. Beth came to him at night. "Why are you helping us?" Leo looked up. "'Cause I failed to help others once. I will not let that happen again." Beth stayed quiet. She watched him work. The next day, Leo was on top of the North Tower, checking the laser mounts. A wire snapped and the panel slipped, grabbed it before it fell. Clara saw him from below. For a moment, she thought he would fall, but he held on and pulled the panel back. She let out a breath she did not know she was holding. Later, she found him near the storage bay. "You could have fallen," she said. Leo looked at her, "But I did not. You keep doing dangerous things. Someone has to." She did not reply. She stood there looking at him. Then she turned and left. In the control room, Harold watched the defense maps. He saw new shield lines, working cannons, and better power flow. All of it made by Leo. He looked at the message pad and sent a call to the nearby outpost. No answer. The room was quiet. Outside the colony walls, the wind blew harder. The sky had turned dark. Lights in the sky moved faster. The Varn were near, and only one man truly knew how to face them. The wind picked up dust as the colony held its breath. Everyone moved faster now. Leo walked from station to station, checking weapons, wires, and shields. He spoke few words, but gave clear orders. People listened. The fence lights flickered less. The cannons turned with smooth motion. The ground traps near the entrance were hidden under dirt and metal pieces. He had done more in 2 days than the colony had done in months. Clara still watched him. She wanted to find something wrong. But all she saw was a man who never stopped. A man who gave more than he took. Beth helped where she could. She guided people, delivered parts, and stayed near Leo when possible. He showed her how to read power lines and fix broken systems. "Where did you learn all this?" she asked as they worked near the lower gate. Leo wiped sweat from his brow. "Long ago, in places that do not exist anymore." Beth looked at him, but said nothing. She saw pain in his eyes, pain he kept hidden. Harold Grayson called for a meeting. All the main workers, guards, and leaders gathered in the food hall. Leo stood at the back. "We face a danger that may destroy us," Harold said, "but we are not without hope. This man, Leo, has given us tools to fight. He has given us time." Some people clapped, some nodded. A few looked at Leo with new eyes. "Be ready, stay calm. Protect the young and the weak," Harold said, "and trust the plan." That night, the sky turned black. Not the black of night, but the black of something big blocking the stars. The Varn had arrived. They did not speak. They did not warn. They sent one blast into the sky to scare, but it was not fear they met. It was the sound of the first cannon firing from the north wall. The battle had started. The Varn came fast. Long legs, hard skin, red eyes. They moved like beasts, but fought like soldiers. They hit the walls with sharp tools and fire sticks. Leo was at the front line. He moved between the cannons and fighters. He repaired what broke and aimed what others could not. He was calm, always one step ahead. A blast hit the south gate. The wall shook. Clara ran to check it. She saw Leo already there, placing a shield plate over a broken part. Sparks flew. "You cannot hold this alone," she shouted. "Then help me," Leo said. She grabbed a tool and followed his lead. For the first time, she worked beside him. The Varn pushed harder. They broke through one trap, then another. But each time, Leo had planned for it. Hidden wires burned their skin. Gas blasts forced them back. Beth helped guide people to safety. She ran through the halls, pulling children and the old to the safe rooms. Harold fired from the top tower. His aim was steady. His eyes stayed on Leo. The night was long. Many were hurt. Some buildings burned. The colony did not fall. Near morning, the last group of Varn turned and fled into the hills. The colony stood, bruised but alive. People came out slowly. They hugged each other. Some cried. Others searched for the missing. Leo sat on a box near the main gate. His arm was bleeding, but he did not notice. He watched the rising sun with tired eyes. Clara stood beside him. "We lived because of you." He shook his head. "You lived because you fought. I only gave you a chance." Beth joined them. Her face was dirty, her clothes torn, but she smiled. "You gave us more than a chance," she said. Harold walked over. He looked at Leo with deep respect. "You were right. We're not ready. Without you, we would all be gone." Leo nodded. "They will return." This was only the first wave. Harold took a deep breath. "Then we will be ready next time, with you beside us." The people of the colony began to clean and rebuild. Fires were put out. The wounded were treated. Tools were gathered. But something had changed. Leo was no longer the man they called dirty. He was something more now. A name spoken with respect. A name remembered in silence and thanks. The sky was quiet again. The fires had gone out. Smoke still rose from a few places, but the worst had passed. The colony was not the same. Some walls were broken. A few homes had no roofs, but the people were alive. They had survived. Leo walked through the streets, helping where he could. He lifted heavy parts, fixed broken doors, and gave water to the tired. No one looked at him with fear now, looked at him with thanks. Children followed him with wide eyes. One of them ran up and hugged his leg. He froze for a moment, then gently placed a hand on the child's head. Clara watched from the side. She'd never seen him like this. He looked strong, but there was a sadness in him, silence that never left. Beth sat on the ground with a small group, teaching them how to fix power lines. Leo had taught her quickly. Now she shared that knowledge. She smiled when he passed. Inside the control tower, Harold Grayson looked over reports. He saw damage lists, food counts, and medical reports. Then he saw one line that made him stop. Unknown tech in Westfield. Source, Leo. He left the tower and found Leo near the farm line. "You placed devices outside the colony?" Harold asked. Leo nodded. "Early warning markers. If the Varn return, we will see them." Burr crossed his arms. "You think they will come back soon?" "Yes, they always test first. Then they attack harder." Harold looked at the wide field. "Then we must be ready." That night, Leo sat alone near the power hub. He stared at the lights, thinking of old battles and lost friends. Clara walked up behind him. "You never stop," she said. "Stopping makes me remember," Leo said. She sat beside him. "You saved us, even after how we treated you. I did not come here to be liked. I came here because I had nowhere else to go." "But now you belong," Clara said. He looked at her. "Do I?" She wanted to answer, but words failed. She stood up and walked away slowly. The next day, a meeting was held in the large room. Harold stood before the colony members. "We live because we fought together, but we need more than survival. We need strength." He looked around the room, then his eyes rested on his daughters. "For years we kept to ourselves. Now we must change. Leo has shown us that we can be better." People nodded. Some clapped, others looked unsure. Later that day, Beth joined Leo near the tower base. "Father wants to build a new defense team," she said. "He wants you to lead it." Leo did not speak right away. He was fixing a broken shield core. "I will help, but I will not give orders to those who do not trust me." Beth sat beside him. "They trust you now. Trust can fade fast. Not if we stand with you," she said. That evening, Clara brought Leo a small device. "He left this in the old lab," she said. "He took it. Thank you." She hesitated. "Why do you always sleep near the wall?" "Because the danger comes from outside. I want to be close when it returns." She looked at him. "You are not alone anymore." The first time Leo smiled. It was small, but real. As the days passed, the colony grew stronger, walls were rebuilt, cannons were upgraded, new traps were placed, and every step of the way Leo was there. He trained fighters, he taught young ones about machines. He showed them how to build, not just how to fight. Harold watched this change with quiet pride. Then, one morning, a small ship landed near the outer gate. People gathered. The ship was old, with earth markings. Leo walked up to it. The door opened. A man stepped out, dressed in faded armor. "You are still alive," the man said. Leo nodded. "Barely. Earth wants to talk to you." Leo looked back at the colony. "At the people, at the fields. They had their chance," he said. I have work here." The man gave a slow nod, stepped back into the ship and left. No one asked what was said, but they knew something had changed. Leo was not just a man from the stars. He was theirs now. He would stay. The colony was no longer the same quiet place it had been. New power lines hummed. Defense lights blinked along the wall. Watchtowers were stronger, higher, and always manned. People walked with purpose. They looked over their shoulders less. They stood taller. Leo had become part of everything. He was not just fixing machines anymore. He was helping build a future. The children followed him with questions. The workers followed his advice. Even the guards asked for his opinion. Clara and Beth saw the change. It was not just in the colony. It was in themselves. Clara, once proud and sharp with her words, now worked beside others. She listened more and spoke less. Beth had grown too. She trained daily and helped lead patrol teams. She had grown close to Leo, though she tried to hide it. One afternoon, Harold Grayson called a private meeting in the tower. Only Leo, Clara, and Beth were present. Harold looked tired but focused. "We have enemies outside these walls," he said. "We also have allies to think about." Leo sat still. He already knew where this was going. "Earth has not sent help," Harold continued. "They do not answer. We must build new ties. Colonies will follow strength." Beth leaned forward. "You want to form an alliance?" "Yes, but they will not listen to me alone," Harold said. He looked at Leo. "They will listen if we stand together. If they see we trust you." Clara crossed her arms. "What are you saying, Father?" Harold spoke slowly. "We need more than words. We need a symbol. One of you should marry Leo." The room went silent. Leo looked down. Clara stood up. "This is not a game." "It is not," Harold said. "It is a step forward. People see what Leo has done. They follow him. But a union with this family will show them we are united." Beth stood. "And if we say no, then we lose the chance to show others we believe in what he stands for." Leo stood up. "I do not want to be part of a deal. I did not come here for power." Harold nodded. "That is why you are the right one. But this must be your choice too." Leo left the room. He walked out into the open field. He needed air. He needed silence. Behind him, Clara and Beth said nothing. That night, Leo sat alone outside the wall. He looked at the stars, the same stars he had followed for years, the stars that had led him here. Clara found him first. She sat near him, not speaking for a while. "You did not ask for this," she said. "No, did you earn it?" He looked at her. "Do you hate the idea?" She paused. "I hated you once. I do not anymore."
Ouch!
Leo nodded. "It should not be." She stood and walked back. Moments later, Beth came. She sat beside him and smiled. "You look like you want to run. Running is easy." "I have done it before. Then stay." He looked at her. "Would you marry someone like me?" Beth looked away for a moment, then back at him. "You are not someone like anything. You are just Leo, the man who saved us. The man who stays up fixing lights when others sleep." Leo did not answer. The next morning, Harold stood in front of the colony and spoke to all. "We will not wait for Earth. We will not wait for help. We are strong on our own. But we stand stronger when we stand together." The crowd watched as Clara and Beth stood on each side of Leo. Harold looked at them. "The choice is theirs. People waited. No one spoke. Leo looked at both sisters, took a deep breath. I will not marry for duty. I will wait for choice. And with that, he stepped back. The crowd nodded slowly. There were no cheers, but there was respect. Harold smiled. He had hoped for this. Not a forced bond, but a real one. As the people returned to work, Clara and Beth stayed behind. They looked at Leo. Clara spoke first. You are right. It should be about choice. Beth nodded. And maybe one day one of us will make that choice. Leo gave a small smile. Then he turned and walked with them back toward the colony. The future was still unknown, but now it was wide open. The days moved quietly, but the memory of Harold's proposal still stayed in every mind. People spoke of it in the farms, in the towers, and even in the training halls. They wondered what choice would be made, but neither Clara nor Beth said anything. And Leo said even less. Leo spent most of his time with the workers now. He helped rebuild the watchtower that had been burned during the Varn attack. He showed the young ones how to repair energy tools and how to build strong frames from weak parts. Clara watched from a distance. She saw how people looked at him now. No one called him dirty anymore. Some even called him teacher. Others called him leader. He never acted proud. He worked harder than anyone else. Beth worked near the storage units. She managed food counts and helped plan the next harvest. She passed Leo often. Sometimes they spoke, sometimes they only nodded. She liked the way he gave space, but always showed up when help was needed. Harold kept busy with outside messages. Other colonies had heard about the attack and Leo's defense plan. Some sent questions. Others asked for help. Virelia was not a quiet place anymore. It was becoming a voice among many. One evening, Clara came to the edge of the training field. Leo was there, fixing a drone. Do you still wait for someone to choose you? She asked. Leo looked up. That choice is not mine to make, but if no one chooses, then I keep doing what I do. She stood in silence. Then she said, I used to think you were weak. I thought dirt made a man small, but I was wrong. Leo nodded. It takes time to see truth. She walked away without another word. Later that night, Beth found Leo near the energy cells. You helped me grow, she said. Before you came, I only followed. Now I lead. But you always had it in you, Leo said. Beth looked at the stars. Would you have said yes? If one of us had agreed to marry you, Leo did not answer quickly. I would have respected the choice, but I would not want to be a burden. She turned to him. You are not a burden. You carry others. That is not something weak men do. The next morning, Harold held another small meeting, spoke of trade paths, new security posts, and water flow plans. Then he asked Leo to speak. Leo stood before the group. His voice was clear and simple. You were tested. We stood. Now we must not forget. What we build today must be strong enough for tomorrow. We must stay together. There was silence, then slow nods, then claps. After the meeting, Clara and Beth walked beside Leo. Do you still think about leaving? Clara asked. No, Leo said. This is my place now. Then stay, not as a stranger, as one of us. Leo looked at both of them. Then I will stay. That night, the stars shone bright above the colony. Children played near the lights. Guards laughed as they shared food. The people had changed. The place had changed. The man they once called dirty had become part of it all. He was no longer just a visitor. He was home. The sun rose over the colony, casting a warm light on the metal walls and growing fields. Life had changed. People no longer feared the unknown. They no longer saw Leo as an outsider. He walked through the colony as one of them. Children waved as he passed. Workers called his name and asked for advice. He always stopped, always listened. He gave help without pride and without expecting anything in return. Clara walked beside him most days. They spoke little, but it was enough. People noticed. Some smiled, others whispered, but no one questioned it. Beth stayed strong. She led the new guard teams and trained fresh fighters. She had made peace with her choice. She respected Clara and cared for Leo, but she also knew where her path led. One afternoon, a small alarm buzzed in the west tower. A single Varn scout had been spotted. It did not attack. It only watched, then turned and left. Leo stood by the tower watching the sky. "They're testing again," he said. Harold joined him. "How long before they return?" "Soon, but we are ready." Harold looked around the colony. "We are stronger now, not because of the walls, because of the people." Leo nodded. "That is the only kind of strength that matters." The next few days were spent in drills and final checks. Shields were tested, traps were reset, ships were hidden in underground bays. Everyone had a role, everyone knew what to do. Clara worked with the med teams. Yes. She helped organize the safe rooms and taught children where to hide. She moved with focus and care. Beth drilled her fighters with sharp orders and loud steps. The young ones followed her closely. They trusted her. Leo walked between both sisters, giving advice and checking plans. He moved like a bridge between them. One night, he sat on the edge of the north wall. Clara found him there. "Do you think they will come with full force?" she asked. "Yes." She looked down. "Are we ready?" "We are, because this time we stand together." She sat beside him. "You changed us." "No," he said. "You changed yourselves." "I just lit the spark." She smiled. "You always speak like a soldier." "That is what I was. Maybe still am. But here I feel something else." "What is that, home?" The silence that followed was calm, not empty. The next day, a storm moved across the sky. Not clouds, but dark ships. The Varn had returned. This time, the colony did not run. They stood at their stations. Cannons turned. Shields glowed. Fighters lined the walls. Leo stood at the front, armor repaired and eyes sharp. Clara stayed with the med teams. Beth stood on the wall, blade in hand. The Varn came fast, but the colony did not break. The traps worked. The cannons fired. The new guards held the line. Leo moved like a shadow, guiding, helping, fighting. He was everywhere at once. The battle lasted all day. When the sun set, the Varn retreated. They had lost many. The colony had held. People cheered. Some cried. Others just sat on the ground, tired but alive. Leo stood in the center of it all. His armor was marked with burns. His arms scraped, but he stood tall. Harold stepped up. "Today, we showed them. We are not weak. We are not afraid. We are one." Cheers followed. Later that night, Leo walked through the quiet streets. Lights glowed in windows. Laughter came from homes. Clara met him near the fields. She looked at him for a long time. "You stayed. You fought. You gave everything." He nodded, "And I will keep doing it. This is my place now." She stepped closer. "Then stay not just as a fighter. Stay with me." He looked into her eyes. "Is this what you choose?" "Yes." "Not for duty, for you." He smiled, and for the first time it reached his eyes. People watched from windows, but no one spoke. No one needed to. The man they once called dirty had become something else. He was not a hero because he fought. He was a hero because he stayed, because he cared, because he gave more than anyone ever asked. And now, he was no longer alone. He was part of a family. The stars above Varelia shined brighter than ever before.